Welcome to Pro Se Legal School. I provide tools, you do the punching. I mean the work. I'm Coach Neighbors, and in today's video, we're going to learn why you should never admit to being a defendant. And what we're going to be talking about today is going to be stuff that you can use if you're stuck in court right now to jam up the program. Because you guys already are figuring this out. Our program here, I structured from real-time feedback from people reporting to me how these fools are trying to get out of stuff while they're using my thing. Now, I don't need people calling me or reporting to me now. We got it under control. Once we figured out that we needed to go after them under 42 U.S.C. 1983 for the state's day-to-day procedures that violate your due process, and we got it going on up in here now. And we got rid of the judicial foreclosure, the non-judicial foreclosure. We don't go into court and argue their lies. Okay, because that's kind of a hit and miss thing. We go into court now and jam their asses up for the reason that they were able to drag you in court for the lies, which is their process. Their process violates your due process rights. Their procedures and process, the state's day-to-day procedures and process violate your due process in a serious way. If you stop and think about it. Okay, so they're filing foreclosure against your property using a statute that they created, that it's not a valid law. It doesn't have an enacting clause, it doesn't have a title, it doesn't have a body, it doesn't have shit except what they wanted to have, which is nothing. And then they pass it off as a law. Statutes and codes are not valid laws. So right there at the gate. Who uses that? You could just use that one point to shove this. Okay, so what about if I'm facing criminal charges? Oh, wait, well, if you're facing criminal charges and there's no injured party, it's a problem. So let's talk about how the judge fits in here. Well, the state created the statute and the codes that they're shoving down your throat. I cleaned that up a little. Because you leave there shoving things up. Okay, anyway, sorry. The state created that they're shoving down your throat, and they're paying the judge to shove them down your throat. I'm going to stay with the your throat thing because I got to keep it kind of nice. So think about that. Okay, so there's no injured party in either case. In the foreclosure scam or the criminal statute scam, there's no injured party. So the judges don't have jurisdiction to be involved in either one. And that's why we add them. Oh, what do you think happens to their stuff when you add the state who committed real estate deed fraud to get your deed registered in their office, and then they sent you a fake copy, which is counterfeiting, because you can't make a copy over security and send it to somebody and make them think that that's the original copy and they have the controlling interest over their property when they freaking don't. Yeah, real estate deed fraud. The state committed so the state cannot be an injured party in a criminal. Yeah, I mean, unless you did some shit on like a fort or government property or something like that. So these are the things that we're learning how to address from the real-time feedback. Now, I got people that get in the program and then they message me or email me and they want to change this and change that. You can change whenever you want. Okay, me, I'm going to stick with the program because the program is structured from real-time damn feedback from people, and we may change it all the time. So one person told me, oh, well, I moved the case. We don't move shit from state court over to federal court anymore. We don't do that. We did that in the very first updated instructional video. And then very shortly after that, we stopped doing that. And the reason we stopped moving the case was because the state court was calling the federal court. One of them was calling each other, and they were stalling. They were figuring out how to stall shit and So we stopped doing that. We had another update to the situation where we just add the state to your counterclaim if you're not facing the eviction process or getting hauled off to jail. If you're in a jam, then you want to add the state to your state lawsuit that you filed in state court as your own lawsuit. We no longer move the case. We no longer do a damn counterclaim and file in their case, because it gives them authority to stall your ass while they move your butt up on the freaking eviction list to get the sheriff out to your house. So if you understand how the program is structured, the very first thing that I would want to watch would be the updated instructional videos, because those videos are going to teach you how to use the 42 USC 1983 packages that we turned everything into. Pretty much. Those videos are going to teach you what other people have had to deal with. Or you can just watch one update and then have me tell you later you should have watched the rest of this shit. It's up to you. It's up to you. Someone messaged me today, emailed me today to tell me, oh, the judge shot me down in federal court. Can I send you what she sent me? Do you have anything I can fight them with? Okay, number one, I don't coach on my emails, and I don't coach on my phone and text messages. I coach on Facebook and Messenger. And if you catch on and you understand what we're doing, everybody goes through Messenger first till I figure out that you understand what we're doing. When I feel comfortable there, then I'll put you in the group. Otherwise, you're going to get lost, and I'm not going to be able to keep up with you. And nobody else wants to hear what new people have to say. No offense. At the end of the day, I make the rules and I run the show, and we're going to do it the way I want. And so that's, if anybody has a problem with that, they can, well, you know what they say. So I've been doing this for a minute, and the real-time feedback and the things that I learn from people help me structure how I do things, and sometimes it's not pretty. Like in this case, I tell you right in the instructional videos, the update instructional videos and instructional videos, that they're gonna dismiss your case. And I tell you why and what you need to do. And so we're going to talk about that a little bit later. Well, let's just talk about it right now. So if your case gets dismissed, the first thing that you need to do is figure out if the reason why the judge dismissed your case makes sense, or if you think the judge is like, well, you know what I'm saying, okay? And then from there, you're going to need to do your homework on the situation to figure out if there is a defect with your, and then you're going to figure out what your game plan is to address that situation. You have to understand why the judge did that, what the judge is expecting to gain from it, and what you need to do to punch that shit in the face. So when you come to the table with those things, and you message me in Facebook and you cover those things, and then in just like a couple of minutes, I can see that you've done your homework or not. Or, well, if you do those things, I can see you've done your homework. What I can see after you do those things is if you understand where you're at and how much you understand, and your program for going forward, if it makes sense, if it needs to be tweaked, or if you're totally out there and you need to throw your own shit in the yard. Do your homework. I mean your research. Your researchable homework. Some people get mad when I tell them to do their homework, and so because they think I'm being offensive when I don't know, maybe I am, because you should have already. If you study the way this program works, you understand I'm not going to tell you what the hell to do. You're going to have to figure it out. Now, I'm going to move the wool from over your face so you can see. People tell me, oh, I'm in the dark in your program. No, I don't believe that's true. In my program, at least you know who's trying to take your shit. So, and you know who signed, and you know the judge signed on without an injured party. To give your shit away to them, and you know the state is the one that's paying the judge to give your shit away, or the state is the one that's paying the judge to send your ass to jail over. Okay. So let's get on with what we came here to talk about tonight. Tonight's video, we're going to talk about the fact that you should never admit to being the damn defendant. I mean, the defendant, because nobody's a damn defendant. Y'all know what I mean. Before practice gets started, I want you guys to take time to make sure that you click on those ads so that I can get paid. Click the other button and subscribe. Ring the bell. Ding-a-ling. Leave a comment and share. Now, one of the other things I wanted to mention, if the judge dismisses your case, you want to make sure to figure out if it's been dismissed based on the Federal Rules Civil Procedure, or if it's been dismissed based off of the local rules. And you'll need to figure out what those two are. And I just wanted to reiterate the fact that I don't take phone calls for the lawsuit packages that I sell for $600. Now, the online course and the Prosecutor Eliminate package, any package that I have for $1,500, I have a communication protocol set up, and those people who invest in those packages are well aware of that communication protocol. And the reason that I do that is when I reduce the price of the lawsuit packages down to, I don't know, a very small amount of what they were. I'm kind of embarrassed to say exactly what they used to be. But when I reduced them down to a very small amount that they are now, so the people that I want to help would be able to afford them, I just can't take the phone calls and all of the stuff. And 97% of the time, the phone calls are coming from people who don't understand why they're here. The people who don't understand why they're here are the people that want to stop the eviction process, or the people that want to stop the sale, or the people. No, dude, you can't stop none of that shit unless you address why they're doing it or why they did it in the first place. There's no $75 eviction package. That video's 2 years old. That's done. You have to go after them for what we have on the website. What you have on the website is what you need. You just need to figure out how you need that. And if you can't, you're welcome to call me if you have not made your investment and you have questions. After you've done your homework and looked at the instructional videos and understand what we're doing, then I'll be glad to answer your questions. Otherwise, I don't have time to get you to the gate. You have to get your own ass to the gate yourself by doing the homework, our research. We're going to call it home search. Oh, that's the best I can do, 50-50. Yeah, home search, yeah. The research, homework. People get mad when I call it homework. I call it homework because shit y'all ass ought to be doing from the gate, and I shouldn't have to tell you. Before you make any comments in my page or to me or whatever, you should have used all of the sources, the resources on Google to figure out what you need to know. And I can tell you right now, the people that call me and have done their homework, we have a whole different conversation. And I'm actually able to give you more gold than I am rusty shit. I'm just saying. I'm able to give you more stuff because you understand it or whatever. You know, if you don't do your homework and I give you some nuggets, then you're going to be, oh, wait, I don't have time for that. So, and that's just the way it is. Do your homework. And don't take phone calls for the lawsuit packages. Unless you're having trouble with the download or something, that's a serious situation, you can't call me and ask me where you file first, because that'll piss me off. I'm just saying. Now let's just get on to it. Don't admit to being don't admit to being the defendant. Thrust of this approach is that one does not admit to being the defendant. In a court case involving United States is actually United States versus one of its franchise. That franchise might be named John Doe. Here's how the scam works. A summons is sent to a location where John, the man, mistakenly thinks it's addressed to him, whereas it is really being sent to the franchise company, corporation, called John Doe. Some people reference this as the straw man. I don't really like the straw man because that gets over on the administrative side of bullshit and makes things more complicated. So, John Doe, the man, mistakenly goes to court, and when the judge says, "Are you John Doe?" the man mistakenly says, "Yes." And thereby becomes the agent or surety for all cap letters John Doe, the corporation. The corporations are in all cap letters, and that's the letters that you see on your driver's license. Your name is in all cap letters, and that is why. So the man becomes the surety for John Doe, the corporation, and then is liable for the charges. The point is, the man walked into a case involving two other fake parties. I'm just going to keep it real with you. What people recommend is that one must ask the judge, who is the defendant? Judge, who is the defendant here? My legal team has shared with me some facts and I'm just confused. So I'd like for you to clear that up with me first. If you could let me know who the defendant is, I'd have a better understanding how to answer you and protect my due process to make sure this is all fair. Now, my legal team also mentioned to me that you were going to slide my case over into an administrative court and not a judicial court, an administrative court where I have absolutely no constitutional rights or any rights at all. So if you're going to do that, please let me know about that. What I just done there is I rattled on, and you want to rattle on about what you need to get on the court record. You want to rattle on until you're ordered to shut up. No, not the first time or the second time. Okay, so when the judge orders you to shut the hell up, or they're gonna hold you in civil contempt of court, that would probably be the time actually that's the time I shut up. I went through that in criminal court, and yeah, that's what I did. I was refusing to go through the little doors, and it was my 15th attorney they were trying to make me take. Oh, I was so total pain. Yeah. So you don't want to, and so I just told him right out, I'm not going over there and doing none of that until the judge orders me to do it, or I'm going to be held in civil contempt of court. And then when I said that, the judge looked like, hell? Who the hell does that? So then when the judge said that, then I walked over there and I said, please let the record show that I'm under duress and I've been forced to come here and participate in this hearing. In the hearing. And that I don't agree to the hearing and I'm not consenting to participate. I'm here under duress because I don't want to get thrown in the jail downstairs in the basement where they kept me a bunch of times. Okay, sorry. The point is, the man walked into a case involving two other parties. What people recommend is that one must ask the judge who is the defendant. Eventually, the judge and the prosecutor will not point to the man. They may pick up the paper, which is actually the defendant, and point to the man, but what they have done is point to the paper. The defendant is a trust or franchise, and that is why it's paper. They tricked the man into representing the franchise. Oh, yeah, that'd be easy. Judge, I'm not here representing the franchise. Because the franchise is broke. They will keep trying to trick the man into thinking that he is the defendant. Ideally, post these questions in a letter. One must say, am I a man? One must ask, am I the defendant? Am I the plaintiff? Is this your case? Is this my case? At this point, I don't think the players will have much to say. I would demand the case be dismissed with prejudice in the interest of preventing shared liability. They fail to dismiss your criminal case. So now you guys see how that criminal, and we're going to put this in the tips playlist. Never admit to being a defendant. Now, if you use this right, you should be able to throw a wrench in the process, and that's what we're learning how to do. Thank you guys for the value of sharing your time. I'll see you in the next video. Stay in the ring.